Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for trading on September the 11th, 2019. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. All right, so as usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar here. So in terms of the news that's coming up, so first of all, we did have numbers out of UK, so positive data here, and as a result, we have seen some British pound actually stay bullish here. So that's British pound here. And then we had Bank of England, Governor Carney. That one didn't really move the market much there. And coming up this evening in the Asian session, we have consumer sentiment numbers out of Australia. So if the numbers are positive, that's likely to push the Australian dollar higher. Other than that, tomorrow, not a very busy day in terms of important data points here. We do have the PPI numbers here for the US, as well as the capacity utilization rate for Canada. So with these numbers, with the US here, if the numbers come out above expectations, that would be good for the US dollar. And then crude oil inventories here, if the numbers come out positive, that means if there's a drawdown, that would be positive, or a bigger drawdown than what's expected, that would be positive for oil. And as a result, we could see Canadian dollar benefit from that as well. And then we have rest of the data here is just the yellow data here, so not quite as important. So tomorrow seems like a slow day in terms of data here. All right, so next, let's go on to our charts here. So we'll start off by taking a look at our euro dollar as usual. With the euro dollar, this is interesting here. So today's candle close is neutral here. We're seeing that the price is holding below this 1.1050. So we do have the ECB meeting here coming up later in the week. So ahead of that, we are seeing price just go sideways. Now it is pushing into the high here, so we have to be careful. If price pushes through here, it could go to the next level. So for now, though, a bias is neutral. As long as price stays below today's high here at 1.1050 level, I'm looking for price to basically go sideways here. However, if it breaks through the high, then we are likely to see price go all the way into 1.1100. So for now, bias is neutral. But like I said, if it does break through today's high, it can go higher into 1.1110 and then 1.1120. So for now, neutral bias for euro dollar. Pound dollar here, we did see price go up, but this one is also into resistance. So we haven't seen a break of yesterday's high yet. So if the price fails to break the high again, then we are likely to see price drop as a result and just go sideways here in this range. So for now, bias is neutral. Today's candle close is neutral. We have pins on both sides, small candle body, that's our neutral candle. But overall, though, the bias is bullish because it's holding above the previous resistance here. So it could break through here. So if it does break through, then we're looking for price to go higher into the next level here at 1.2450. But it hasn't done that yet. So yesterday and today, for 2 days in a row, price hasn't broken the high. So if it fails to break the high the third time around, then it's likely to drop here. So bias is neutral for pound dollar, but if it breaks through the high, then we're looking for a move higher. If it doesn't, then I would look for a move lower towards 1.2280. So bias is neutral here. Aussie dollar here, this one is also neutral. We see that price hasn't done a whole lot. It's just given us a neutral candle close here. So this one is, again, neutral. So for now, if price, again, does not break the high from yesterday here, we could see it reverse. So be mindful of that. Bias is neutral for Aussie dollar as well. But if it breaks the high, Then we will look for the next target as 0.6920 back into the support resistance level. So today's bias is neutral. New Zealand dollar as well. Right now, it seems like the market may be looking to shift because it's come to this point where it's not really doing a whole lot. So once we find that market just starts to go sideways, then it can turn after that. So if price doesn't move in 3 days, for example, then it can turn around. So watch out for that. So with this one here as well, this is a completely neutral candle here. We see that price hasn't really gone through here. So 3 days in a row, price has not broken the high. Today's candle is neutral, which means we could see price drop. So for now, bias is neutral though. But again, if it stays below 0.6450, I would look for a decline. However, keep in mind that price could go retest the high here, so watch out for that. But for now, bias is neutral for New Zealand dollar as well. Dollar CAD here, yesterday we had talked about how price is likely to go higher and then come into resistance here. So that's exactly what we see here. Price went into this resistance level and now it's holding below. So overall here, bias is bearish. So we have seen it come back down and we have a bearish candle close. So looking for price to drop again. So bias is bearish here. And the next target would be 1.3100. So dollar CAD is looking bearish. Let's take a look at our commodities. So we'll start with silver here. With the silver, we see a neutral candle close, but price is holding below this previous level. So if it holds below 18, then I will look for price to drop further. 17.80 will be the first target, and then we're looking at 17.50. So neutral bias, but again, if it holds below 18 or even today's high, if it holds below today's high at 18.20, then I will look for price to drop further here, something like this. So two pullback levels, one would be 18.20, another one would be 18. So if it stays below either one, I'm looking for price to come back down. If it goes through this one though, then we could start seeing a reversal or a pullback coming into play here. So for now, silver is neutral. Gold here, gold is still looking bearish. We had, for the last few days, we've been looking for a drop and we've been getting those drops here. Now we are starting to come into support levels. So price did break below the support level and now we could see a pullback into that, 1492, and then a further drop. So bias here is bearish for gold, and then next target would be 1470 here. So 1480 and then 1470 are the two targets to the downside. So bias for gold is bearish. Oil, oil has gone through this resistance level here, and we have a neutral candle close today. So with this one, what I would look for would be potentially a retest of today's low. If it holds above, we are likely to see price go higher. But bias is neutral, and we saw price almost get into the high here, but it closed with the neutral candle. So this is what I would look for. I would look for a potential pullback and a retest of the high, and if it doesn't go through, we could see a drop. So right now, bias is neutral. I'm basically looking for price to trade in within today's range. Now, if it breaks down to the downside and breaks through the today's low, then we could see price move lower. But if it goes through today's high, then I would look for a pullback, hold above the high, and then a further move to the upside here. So we need to see where price, which direction price wants to go. So at this point, we have to wait and see. Many crosses today are in that neutral position, and we could see things turn around. So we just need to be patient and see how it plays out. For now, this is neutral. So I'm looking for a retest of the high or the low. And if it breaks, whichever side it breaks to and holds, that's the side I will look for the direction. So neutral bias for oil. Copper here, copper is neutral here as well, but it's holding below this previous support resistance level. So it's a bearish to neutral bias here. We could get a retest of today's high. And again, if it stays below, then we're likely to see a drop here to the downside. So watch out for that. For now, bias is neutral for copper, and this one could come back down towards 2.55. Bitcoin here, it's dropping, bias is bearish here, so we could see more of a drop here. Next target would be 96.50 here, back into these pins, and then 92.80 level. So bias here is bearish for Bitcoin. S&P 500, this one was interesting. We did see that drop initially, but then the comments out of China saying that they are working with the US officials to drop an agreement that will get signed later. That was positive here for the market. So as a result of that, we have seen a price pull back here, and now we see a rejection of this level. So at this point, it's still sideways. The way I would look at this would be, again, where does it break? If it goes through the high here, then I will look for a further move to the upside. But for now, I'm looking for a retest on either side. If it goes into the high but holds below, then we're likely to see a drop. On the other hand, if it drops and holds above this previous support resistance level here, this is an important support resistance level. And if it keeps on holding above this, then we're likely to see price go higher. For now, though, it is holding above this previous level. So we have seen higher high and a higher low here. So it's holding on to this upward move for now. But again, tomorrow we'll have to see which way it goes. If it breaks the high, then we're looking for a continuation move higher. If it breaks the low here, then we could see a move lower. For now, though, bias is neutral for S&P 500. NASDAQ here, same thing. Yesterday, we were looking for a drop. We got that drop, but then price pulled back. So right now, we are seeing a rejection of this lower level, but price is not looking quite as bullish at this point. However, what we could see is we have seen, if we see price hold above today's low, then we're likely to see price go higher. So bias is neutral for now. And if it breaks the high, of course, then we're looking for price to go all the way into next level here, 79.30, and then 8,000. For now, though, it's sideways, and we need to see which direction it wants to go in. Right now, it's just pausing here. DAX here, this one is looking quite bullish. Next target will be 12,300 and then 12,420. So bias is bullish for DAX. FTSE here as well, we did see a bullish close here. So price did go and retest the low from yesterday, but then it moved up higher. So it's trading within this range, but we do have a bullish close, which means we could see a move higher here. So bias is bullish for FTSE, and first target would be 73.40 and then 73.80 here. So bullish bias. And last but not least, Nikkei here looking quite bullish. We saw a pullback and then it pushed higher from there. Now it is into resistance, so just keep that in mind, but it's looking bullish. And next target is 21,500 and then 21,600. So bullish bias here. So that's it for today. You guys have a wonderful trading day tomorrow, and I'll see you in the evening again. Bye for now.